Hi guys, welcome to this Alakazam Live. I'm joined by my very good friend Mr. John Carey.
How you doing, dude?
I'm very well, thank you. So on this live...
Hope you're well.
On this live, John's going to show you a few tricks, and two of them are brand new, never been published before.
That's right, two unpublished, and there'll be one thing from one of my books.
Perfect. So we're going to be showing you some tricks a little bit later on. Also, John has kindly brought with him 3 of his products, which are Sublime Self-Working Card Tricks, the Carey Files, and Minimalista, which
Minimalistica. Minimalistica.
There you go. Right, so easy. All of those are going to be on offer, and you can grab one today as a prize if you win it. So I will say this, the first prize we're going to give away is the Carey Files, and all you need to do to be in with a chance of winning this is to share this video. So go and press the share button now, and if you haven't liked our Facebook page, like that now, and everyone that does that will be in with a chance of winning this.
Share away, guys. There might even be another little bonus even Nardi don't know about later on if you do.
Oh, lovely. So John, that's John's new business card, by the way. He's just given me one of these. That's really smart. Who designed that?
That was done by the caricature by Juan Luis Rubiales, my friend from Cadiz in Spain.
Yeah.
And my friend Mick Wilson very kindly dropped that image in, but the original business card without the caricature,
yeah.
I'm having dental problems like you, was done by the lovely Olivia Waters in Yorkshire. Hi Liv, if you see this.
Cool.
Thanks Mick, and Juan Luis, hola amigo, que tal bien? Yeah.
So John, for people that know you maybe just through the DVDs and things like that, never met you, we've known each other for quite a few years now. I'm not sure how many, but...
It's got to be 15 years creeping up to that now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Blackpool first and then coming down to the shop after escaping from that magic shop, the Underground Station in London. Yeah.
So, for those people that don't know you, I mean, it comes as a bit of a surprise to me as well, because magic wasn't your full-time job.
No, not at all. For the best part of 25 years, I was a ticket office clerk at a busy suburban railway station in London.
Yeah.
A place called Turkey Street. Yes, you heard that right, Turkey Street.
Right.
In northeast London, Enfield, not far from Edmonton and Tottenham. If you know the Spurs ground, about 3 miles from there, yeah. And I just used to work on my own, and it was brutal hours. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning till 1:45-ish. I say ish because sometimes I used to get away about 1:20-ish.
Right.
And I used to work just on my own, so it was everything, serving the tickets, giving the information out.
And that's in rush hour, really.
Yeah, and if the trains were screwed up, getting it in the ear roll as well. You think I drove the damn things as well, And it used to be a fun job when I was younger, but then as the years come on, I started putting out ebooks firstly, and then other little things come along. Russ, RSVP. Hey Rusty, good luck with Issy this week. He sent me a message on the cafe about 9-10 years ago. I woke up and looked at my cafe account on my old Dell desktop, big clunky thing. I've heard good things about you. How would you like to do a DVD? And within 2 or 3 weeks, I was up to Manchester and we filmed that there. Handle with Carey, the first DVD.
Yeah. And
that just started to open the door.
Yeah.
Started to do lectures across the country. My great friends of ours, Gary Jones and Zach Stone, got me a lecture down in Torbay near Torquay.
Right.
And as Paul Gordon would say, that was the night I found out that adrenaline is brown. And hi Paul, if you're watching, hope you and Judy are well. And then it just opened the doors, and now me and Russ did some follow-up projects, Classic with Carey, Keep Calm and Carry On. It became a theme with the surname, one bright spark said you should do one called Carey in the Community or Casbo or something, But I can never thank Russ enough. I've said this before to him in person, online, Facebook and what have you. But cheers, fella, you open up a lot of doors for me, and I never forget that, and you're a great pro and a great guy to work with.
It's amazing, really. I mean, the first the first I got to hear about you is I kept hearing your name, but we hadn't met.
That's right.
I filmed the James Brown project, and he kept saying,
Hey, James,
John
you're
Carey, this is John Carey's, this is John. You got to see John. And I'd never met you at this point. And then Gary Jones, the same thing. Your name just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And I don't know when we actually finally met, but I knew of you well before when we met, because you seem to be this sort of underground legend.
Oh mate, I wasn't underground. I was worse than that. I was the Earth's core.
Right. But it's amazing that you got your stuff up, because the first DVD you released with Russ,
Hannah with Carey,
was brilliant.
Good seller for you at your shop.
It was the magic on there. The thing, for those of you that's never seen John's work, and I presume there's not many of you about, John's got this ability to strip down routines to their barest, so that, I don't want this to sound wrong, the routines are still strong and still as impactful as they ever were, but you've got this knack of taking out all the unnecessary moves and replacing them with subtle handling changes. Do you know what I mean? So
stripping down effects and hopefully not diluting the impact of the effect is what I try to do.
So you just said it perfectly. It just took me 2 minutes, and you just said it in one sentence.
I've had a bit of practice.
Yeah.
But for many years, one thing a lot of people don't know is I sort of plied my trade and learnt my trade working through a lot of heavier texts, and I never regret those years working through the Marlowe and the Jennings work, the Vernon work. But the Vernon work was a lot more streamlined than some of the Marlowe and Jennings stuff. Although Jennings and Marlowe have got some beautiful things with subtlety as well. A lot of people think they're just brute force sleight of hand guys. They weren't. They were capable of wonderful creative thought. Also, I've been very lucky over the years to knock around with some good people. Back in the day, sort of before the internet sort of took off and started even, and meeting such lovely people and wonderfully talented magicians, such as Justin High and Ben Earl, wonderful talents who've helped me so much in my magic over the years, inspired me, two absolutely brilliant magicians, phenomenal guys. But I had a great teacher. Back in 1986, I went to my first proper magic convention, the IBM British Ring Convention in Eastbourne.
Right.
And, things were pretty tough for Mum and Dad at the time, but they managed to scrape the money together for me to go along. And that was the most amazing week of my life. I saw Harry Blackstone float the light bulb in the Congress Theatre. Literally, I was like, ooh.
How old were you back then?
Oh, I was 86, so that would have been about 18.
Right.
Yeah, about 18.
And that was your first convention?
First convention, and then later in the week after Harry Blackstone, I got on the phone with my mum and dad. I said, this man made the light bulb float. Yeah, but how did I have no idea, But it all changed for me, because at the time I was buying little bits of plastic things from Supreme Magic down in Devon, Edmund and the end of there, and it was like every couple of weeks was like Christmas or birthdays, little packages, come home, is it here? No, I haven't seen it. Mum was always winding me up like that, and Dad as well said, no, go and do your blah blah work before you get, it was great fun. And but at that convention I got to see the late night close up as a midnight show with the late Aldo Colombini, Mike O'Brien, our own from England, Mike O'Brien, and the late great Kevin Ray. It was a wonderful show, and at this time I was just doing sort of plasticky bits and little gimmicky card tricks and things, Steve Duchette things and stuff like that, and getting the Magic Round magazines. We all did back in that time. But in particular, Aldo and Mike were great and funny as well. Yeah. Solid acts. But it was watching Kevin, who at that time was just breaking through and doing his work on the Paul Daniels show.
Yeah, he was a heavy sleight of hand guy at the time, wasn't he?
And I went to see Kevin afterwards, went up to him. I just said, I want to thank you so much for doing what you did tonight. He said, it's my job. And he had this little smile, cheeky gap tooth smile. Yeah. It's my job. I said, I wish I could do magic like that. Well, you have to practice, he said. I said, well, I'm just getting things from Supreme Magic. Oh, they're a great company. And anybody who knew Kevin, he always saw the positives in people and businesses and companies. He said to me, so what are you working on? I said, well, I'm not really. I've got no kind of direction, for want of a better term. And he arranged to meet me the next morning at Magic Books by post stand, Betty and Donald, who were the premier book dealers there. Yeah. If you wanted the books in the UK or Europe, that's where you got them from.
Yeah, of course.
And they had a really free run at the market. And so we met there, and we got a coffee before, and then went over to the stand, and he said to Donald, can you pass that orange hardback book over? And it was the Royal Road to Card Magic. and everything changed after that. Within a matter of weeks, me and Kevin used to stay in touch by telephone call, you know, not old fashioned.
There was no internet, no email.
And I'd meet up with Kevin every 2 to 3 weeks at his various places he stayed in over the next few years, in London, Highgate and places like that. And he would actually show me those chapters, what those things could actually look like, the shuffles, the cuts, the tricks that were with them.
Yeah.
And he said to me, resist the urge to jump ahead in the chapters, which is hard to do if you're excited. But, you know, we all like to flick, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
But seeing someone like Kevin, then later on he took me onto the Vernon material, the Stars of Magic, and then you know, and then some of the Marlowe stuff, and this man could do it all. And he was like a brother from another mother after a few years. He really was. My mum and dad adored him.
So would you put him down as your mentor, your main mentor?
Absolutely. He never wanted a penny off of me.
Yeah.
I said, Kev, I've got to give you something back. He said, John, just keep doing what you're doing. That's my return, he said, you know, which was lovely. It was such a tragedy when he took his life in the way he did, but he's always there, you know, and Mum always says that to me, you know, Kev, I'd be proud of you, you know, at the risk of tooting my own horn, just trying to do what I do and enjoy what I do, you know.
And a lot of people won't realise this, because your DVDs are, and the material you put out is not self-working, but it's pretty easy, and it's within the realms and within the skill levels of most people out there.
Absolutely. You still need to have a little bit of a foundation.
Yeah.
You can't just walk into the magic shop off the street and do everything on there. You might be able to do 1 or 2 things, but you've got to know the basics. I mean, I know it's cliche, but you can't build a house without foundations, right?
Yeah. But what a lot of people don't know is you are very good at sleight of hand, even though you might not produce a lot of that on DVD, but you are.
Yeah, I'm not frightened of palming and doing the pass the shift, as some of the Americans call it. If that's the best tool for the job, I would do it.
And do you know what? This is. I'm very much like you with the way I look at things. Is I don't want to use something just for the sake of using it.
It's almost like showboating. If you're not careful, it's sleight of hand is supposed to be a problem solver. You know, to use sleight of hand efficiently and profitably. You know, what I'm trying to say is, you know, you're trying to solve a problem. Sometimes a sleight will be the best tool for the job, which means you've got to know the move or learn the move. Other times, a subtlety will get you home and not lose any impact. Yeah. But I think it's important to have that foundation, you know. You need a core set of tools. Yeah. You know, to palm a card, control a card, force a card, top change. I would say a colour card as well, because the Hofsins are coal. If you've watched any of my DVDs or seen any of my books, read any of my books, I love the coal. Yeah. Do so much with it.
Yeah, and it's such a great weapon, the coal. You can,
it is. Force a card, control a card, double lift substitute, switches.
It's really... I love your stuff because it is you very much. I'm a great fan of Paul Gordon's as well. Like in his books, the fact that I can open a book and the trick's almost explained in a page.
Absolutely, there's no waffling or beating about the bush with Paul's write-ups and stuff. You know, you can literally take a pack, get a coffee, take a pack out. Take out the aces and do whatever, or, you know, a totally impromptu trick. The spectator shuffles the pack, take them back and say, have you ever heard of the 8 of diamonds trick, that great trick? I know you like a Paul's the 8 of diamonds trick.
He fooled me big time.
Yeah, and he told me he lucked out big time.
He did. And that's the problem is when you get down to that level, you can't backtrack. There's
nowhere to go. It's very counterintuitive. A magic book should be full of practical stuff, you know, stuff you can do. Yeah. But that's not to say it should be dumbed down, you know, it should be powerful. All magic should be powerful. Yeah. You know, but I mean, I like to give little outlines of presentation now more as I do more writing, because I think it gives the spectator or the magician or magician a sense of what the effect's about. It also makes writing more interesting for me. Yeah. But I don't give them everything. I don't spoon feed it to them. No. I used to write stuff up years ago, 15, 20 years ago. I'd make notes. You'd think I was walking through the Sahara with a backpack on. You know, it was like talking about driving from London to Edinburgh to get to Birmingham. Yeah. But the more you do, like anything, you improve your writing. Get the bullet points, get the salient points down. Because my books are not meant for beginners, but they're not difficult things. If you've got that basic knowledge, basic foundation, you'll be able to open one of my books, one of Paul's, one of any of the lovely books out there on card or close-up magic or mentalism, and do the stuff. Yeah. Then you've got to hang your personality on it, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
And the other thing that really fascinates me about people like yourself is the amount you create. I mean, I create magic, but maybe one effect a month or something, whereas I'm always sort of in awe of you guys that literally, I mean, and this isn't a word of a lie, almost every night I'll get a Facebook message from you going, oh, I've just come up with this, good night. And you'll just put a trick out. I'm thinking, how have you just come up with it? What have you been doing? How many tricks do you develop a week?
I don't know. Some weeks it's slow. The funny thing is, when I'm on tour, I just come back from doing a Scandinavian lecture tour, and I was away for about a week or so, and there's 7-8 days, and the people over there made me feel so welcome. If Guy Lundberg and Joachim Solberg and any of the people over there were watching, thanks again. Whenever I'm away on tour, my creative process, or if for want of a better term, just dries up completely.
Right.
I think it's because I'm concentrating
You're focusing on something
on
else.
getting up at silly times for train connections, airplanes, internal flights and whatever. You know, I did 4 internal flights in Scandinavia in 6 days. It was mental. You know? Great fun, but mental.
Yeah.
I just dry up completely. I think it's just a case of do the job, have a beer and a meal with the people afterwards, get some sleep, get the next train to the next town.
And that is your work for that time. Your work is making sure your lectures are brilliant, and you've got to be focused on those.
You've got to be, you know. I mean, it should be fun first and foremost, but it is a job. It is work.
And that's another thing I wanted to point out. You've got a very, very good work ethic. I mean, because it would have been very, very easy to leave the comfort of your job with your guaranteed wage and everything else.
Pensions.
And then just sit down and go, do you know what? I'm just going to have some time off. But you haven't. You've really done what you should have done, which is this is now your job. You know.
Yeah, well, the thing was, about 3 and a bit years ago, doors were opening up in Europe, you know, in Germany and Switzerland, and my great friend, the wonderfully talented Alexander de Cova, and Alex and Helena, if you're watching this, hi to you, hope you're well. They organised a tour in conjunction with a man called Andreas Fleckenstein in Germany and Switzerland and Austria, so all the Germanic-speaking countries. Yeah. And the thing was, at the time, I wasn't at work, to be honest with you. I wasn't feeling particularly well. And my dad, who we had carers, my late father Chris, we had carers around 4 times a day to the house and everything. And everything was tough. It was tough on my poor old mum. Yeah. It was tough on all of us, you know. And then these opportunities would come in here, and I said to Mum, I said, what am I going to do? I've got all these dates, but between you and me, I haven't told the people in Germany, you know, about the day job situation. And she knew how much it meant to me. She could tell. I mean, my mum can read me like a book. Yeah. I mean, no disrespect, you do some brilliant book tests. My mum don't need a book. She can be upstairs and she can read me. Remote viewing, she don't need a camera, mate. I'll tell you, it's uncanny.
Yeah, that's mums, isn't it?
And she said to me, just do it. Yeah. Just do it. And give the railway their due. They arranged a little severance package for me, you know, which gave me a bit of a safety net for about 6-8 months. But then I went and did that tour, and then that spawned other tours. I did a week in Italy. Gianluigi Sordellini, hello John, if you're watching, he organised a little tour over there for me. And I started out in Sicily with a mafiosi.
Right, I know Sicily.
Met some of your mates out there. And you know, and then Turin and other places. And it's the travelling I love. Some people hate travelling. I love the magic travelling around the UK and Europe. And,
I mean, you have got, anyone that's watching this is going to be so jealous because, like,
I haven't changed much. So I'm still the same guy.
You haven't changed at all.
A bit big around the waist and the belly, but hey, life's a bitch, and then you marry one.
But it's all it's the great work ethic with you that you know you've got to get the job done. You always do it, and you're always pushing further and further and further with your magic and the way you're trying to promote your business. Because if you go self-employed as a magician, it's all about promotion. It's not going to fall at your feet.
Well, in terms of the magic, one of my idols and great friends, become a great friend over the last few years, Danny Dortis. Well, Danny, if you're watching, is to innovate, you have to push yourself. Yeah. But also in business, we had Nicolas Clermont and Etienne here as guests at Alakazam. Had a coffee and a chat, and the usual Etienne mad and some fun. And I was saying to Nick, well done on the trade shows he did in Vegas recently. Yeah. I said, I bet some of the Americans are jealous of you over there. He said, well, I have to work for that. It doesn't land in my lap. He says, sometimes I send out 1,000 emails a week, canvassing these big companies. He said, I might get 5 replies, you know. It doesn't mean every one I'm going to send I'm going to get a positive. Yeah. You know? Yeah, no, you've done very well, mate. I mean, you know, you've achieved so much, and you are really living the dream. You're living. When
when I got back into magic, I had a full-time job, and I think everyone's in the same boat. When you get back into the magic, you dream of doing magic full-time. That's it. You want to live and breathe and eat magic.
I guess you do. And the thing is, believe it or not, it's still my hobby though.
Yeah.
Because it's the play side of it where, like, you know, Mum might have turned in, I'm at my card table, or in my room just sitting like a Chinaman on the bed, and I'll just work on stuff, bit of music in my ears and just relax. You know, it's the play side of it. I personally couldn't, and no disrespect, I'm not aiming this at anybody, I couldn't just be a professional magician, go to a wedding and corporate and a wedding, you know, 6, 8, 9 times a month and do the same 3 tricks.
Yeah.
I would be bored in next to no time.
Yeah.
I like to mix it up, you know. That may be not for everybody, but, you know.
I think you've made a very important point there, and that is when you lose something as a hobby. So if you go into magic professionally, and I've had a lot of people ring me up saying, oh, you know, I'm thinking of going professional, what shall I do? And I always say, think very carefully about it. For one, there's the money, and for two, as soon as you go professional, this is no longer your love.
It's
this
not a
is
jolly.
your job.
It's not a jolly, you know.
And things change. Things do change.
And I think you have to look ahead and say, okay, can I sustain myself for 10, 12 months to begin with, for example, financially?
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you can't, well, then you're taking one hell of a risk.
Yeah.
However, no pun intended, you are only dealt one hand in this life. But,
Yeah.
you know, you have to weigh up the pros and cons. It's not for everybody, you know. But for me, it's still a hobby. To me, it's the greatest hobby in the world because there's always something new to learn. There's always people out there who I aspire to be as good as. Some people are remarkably talented in certain areas, whether it be close-up. You, of course, Mr. Spellman. Hey, Spellers. You know, we've got so many mutual friends who are so talented in so many different ways.
Definitely.
And it's great. And most of them, thankfully, leave their egos in the car park when you see them, you know, because... At the end of the day, as the late Bobby Bernard once said to me when I moaned about a famous magician who should remain anonymous, I was only given barely a minute of his time at Ron Macmillan's convention years ago. At the end of the day, John, they're just a conjurer. Yeah. You know, because I actually wanted to say another word there, but it's a little bit...
no, we can't say that on the live.
Greenwich Mean Time, I think you know what I mean. But be
I've
humble, go on. Any questions?
I've got a couple of, there's a Mr. Paul Gordon, and he's looking forward to taking magic up as a hobby, so go for it, Paul.
Yeah, I would do it, mate. I really would. I recommend the Royal Road to begin with, and then after that, if you get the Di Vernon book, they teach a lovely count there. It's called the Elmsley. You actually hide one card, you know. I'm joking.
No, that's our very good friend Paul Gordon, who hopefully we're going to have on one of these Alakazam lives really soon.
It's great fun, Paul. You have a great time, mate, and look forward to seeing you and Judy soon. I hope the new house thing's going well as well.
So Richard Furzer said, great advice for those wishing to go full time. I'm going to have a little scroll up here. So guys, remember to be in with a chance of winning the Carey files. All you need to do is share this video. I don't know what you do if you're watching on YouTube. I don't know if you can share it or whatever. I'm not very good at this stuff. But on Facebook, you can definitely share it. So share it and make sure you like our Facebook page. I want to hear our Facebook counter rattling away.
Rattle.
So we are going to... I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drop in the trailer, I believe, for Sublime Self-Working Card Tricks. And then you're going to join us at the performing table where John is going to perform 3 effects for us.
Yeah, why not?
And then we'll be back to chat a bit more. So now, the trailer of Sublime Self-Working Card Magic.
Thank you so much for coming along today.
That's okay.
A little mystery with a pack of cards, but you don't have to choose a card.
Okay.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Right.
Now, most magicians, when they make predictions, they take a piece of paper, they take a pen, and they write it down. Some fold it up into a little square, they put it in an envelope, and then they seal the envelope up. Some take the envelope, put it in a box, take a padlock and lock the box.
Right.
Way too much time.
Okay.
I'm going to make an open prediction, a verbal prediction of a card.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
And my open prediction today will be the 2 of clubs. The 2 of clubs. Okay? What's my open prediction?
The 2 of clubs.
Don't forget that, yeah?
Okay, got it.
Would you hold the cards for me? And what I want you to do is give me a little mix. So cut off about 1/3 of the deck and place them just there for me. Excellent. And cut off about half of those and put them there. Beautiful. And put those just there. Let me ask you, do you play any cards at all? Poker or blackjack?
Not really, no.
But you understand the cards?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then why don't you just stack them up for me? That's lovely. Now, numbers play an important role in our lives, don't they, Lucy? You've got PIN numbers, house numbers,
Yep.
national insurance numbers, lottery numbers.
Gym numbers.
Gym numbers. As you can see, my gym number expired about 3 years ago. But numbers do play an important role in our life.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to think of a number. So we're not here all day. I want you to think of a number, say, between 10 and 20, like 11 or 12, but don't let me influence you. Make it high, make it difficult, yeah?
Okay.
Could I have any way at all of knowing what number you're thinking of right now?
No.
No, absolutely no is the right answer. Tell everybody, what number are you thinking of?
19.
19.
Yeah.
But you could have named 12, you could have named 14, you could have named 16, yeah?
Yeah.
I want you to pick up that deck for me. I want you to hold it as if you were going to deal in a game of cards. And I want you to deal the cards one at a time, face up, turning the cards over onto the table. And we'll count. That's 1, and continue. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop there for a moment, Lucy. Do you remember my open prediction?
Yeah.
What was it?
2 of clubs.
Great memory. Have you seen the 2 of clubs so far?
No.
Remember, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, yeah?
Yeah.
And you just thought of a number, and it was 19, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, carry on, Lucy, carry on. 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop right there, Lucy. There's a 2 of hearts.
Yeah.
I could have named that card, but I didn't name that card, Lucy,
No,
did I?
no.
What was my open prediction?
The 2 of clubs.
Brilliant memory.
Okay.
That's 10, so that's 11. 12, 13, the tension is building. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Stop right there, Lucy. There's 18 cards there.
Yeah.
There's black cards, there's red cards, there's picture cards, there's number cards. Do you see my open prediction card?
No.
And you thought of 19?
Yeah.
You could have thought of 12, 14, 16, any number is possible. How impressed would you be if the 19th card was my open prediction? And remember, you mix the cards.
Very impressed, because it's not possible.
Well, I'm here to try the impossible.
Okay.
And maybe mysterious forces are at work here in Shropshire today. There's only one way of finding out. Turn that card over and show it to the camera and freak out. There's the 2 of clubs. My open prediction.
Oh my
3
God.
for a number.
Magic just kills me, honestly.
Right, so we're here in the performing area, and John is going to perform. What are you going to perform, John?
I'm going to perform an effect called Stealth Assembly from the Carey Files.
Right, so this is from the book that they've got a chance of winning. I've just been told, actually, for some reason, we're streaming live onto my Facebook page rather than the Alakazam Facebook page. So if you're on my Facebook page, welcome to Pietro Nardi instead of Alakazam Magic. That was
Welcome to John Carey.
that was totally my fault. I'm not going to blame anyone else. It was my fault. I was messing with the settings and messed them up. But please still share this video. That will be great. And I'll try and put this video on our Alakazam page for anyone that's missed it. So, okay.
Yes, as I say, it's called Stealth Assembly. It's from the Carey Files. It's an ace assembly, just what the world needs.
Right.
However, I think the guys might enjoy this one. So we've got the 4 aces. Okay. This ace is known as the most esteemed ace in the world. The ace of spades, the dark card, the gypsy card, the mysterious card. It's got quite a mysterious past. Give the pack a quick shuffle, please, Pete.
These are very nice cards as well.
Aristocrat greens, available from the Magic Apple and the Art of Magic, I believe. Not cheap, but very, very nice.
They are nice.
Certainly better than those cards you get in Costco. Anyway, deal 12 cards face down, out loud in a pile.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And you can put the rest of the pack away. Awesome. So we've got 4 aces, 12 in different cards, and a charming personality. No, not you, me. I want the guys to actually see the faces of each of these cards. Yeah, a couple of reds and a black. Ladies are as fair can be.
Yep.
Even signed cards. Look, Kerry gets cards signed. Oh, that's Gavin. Gavin James. Hello, Gav, if you're watching. Watch very closely now, because the closer you watch, the less you see, and the less you see, the better for me. I'm a poet, and now you know it. It's traditional, of course, to put an ace on top of each pile. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm ready to finish, because you see there's no ace there, there's no ace there, there's no ace there, and that, my friends, is the 1, 2, 3, 4 ace assembly, and that's stealth assembly.
That is awesome, and it's so self-working. There's no, oh, not self-working.
One move is 90%,
sorry.
95%.
Yeah.
If you can do one little dada.
Yeah, it's not self-working, but it is most probably one of the easiest ace assemblies I've seen that has that much fairness.
Yeah, because
and
you see the
impact.
faces of every one of the indifferent cards.
Do you know, the other thing I like about the way you do stuff is everything is just so paced. It's so nice and slow and
Sometimes.
thoughtful. Yeah, but it isn't like you're not. When you watch people do magic, especially if they're new to it, they tend to rush things. If you read Maximum Entertainment, and it always says that people that aren't confident with their magic tend to rush things, speed everything up. And your stuff's all very smooth and it just flows really well.
I think it's very kind of you.
That's a lovely trick, and that leads me on. You're going to get ready to show us another couple of tricks.
Definitely.
But this leads me on to another magician. I haven't seen him in action, but he sent us a video today, and I've had it from Wayne Dobson that this guy is his #1 student.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is this the guy who's maybe doing FISM in Korea or something?
I don't know. Wayne just said, get this guy on your show.
Yeah.
He's amazing. So the video literally just turned up. So Harry's got it all lined up to go. This is Mr. Johnny Spangles, and I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to what he's got to share.
Hello, Peter Nardi at Alakazam. It's great to be here. I am Johnny Spangles, Wayne Dobson's #1 student. You asked me to send in some magic, so I'm going to do some magic now, and I'm looking forward to being on Alakazam live, Alakazam live. So here we go. Watch closely. We got a ball, right? I'm going to throw the ball and I'm going to catch the ball on my nose. So let's plan, and you'll be amazed. Ready? Here we go, Peter Nardis and Dave Bruce Lee. Watch closely. Here we go. Oh, it's alright, I've got glass protection on my eye. Thank you! Thank you very much. The skill, it took me a long time to learn this. So, right. Hold on a minute. I think I might have used the wrong glue, super glue. I've got a problem here. Sorry, hold on, Susie spit. It's the wrong glue, you Bye, Susie.
Right, so here we are. This is a brand new effect.
Yes, this is a nice 2-deck piece using classical concepts and principles. Nothing truly new in magic, it's just how you take those little pieces and put them together.
Cool, and what's this called?
Can you believe it? C-A-A-A-N, believe it. No, not 3 A's, 2 A's.
Two A's.
C-A-A-N, you believe it. That's
Brilliant.
it.
Okay, let's go.
Right, so we've got 2 decks here, yeah, and a green and a red. Name and colour?
Green.
Green. We'll work with those. And would you do me a favour and maybe pop that deck in your pocket or somewhere safe?
I'm going to pop it down here.
Pop it down there between your legs. Okay. Say no more. I won't. And we'll use this pack as well for a little bit of craziness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them a shuffle. Reference shuffle. All right. Here's the deal. Pick up the deck. Mm-hmm. And there's many ways of mixing cards. You could deal a few face down into a packet. And maybe give the cards a little shuffle as well. Deal just a few more. Perfect. Shuffle the deck a bit more. It's your shuffling, your dealing, everything's under your control. Deal 2 more, 5 more, 3 more, I don't care. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Put the rest of the cards away. Awesome. Pick up that packet, and we're going to try and create a playing card. A card comprises a value and a suit, yeah? So I want you to do one card face down there, and one card face down there. Back and forth, back and forth. Remember, you shuffle that deck.
Yep.
And just keep going back and forth as if you were playing some crazy little two-handed game with me. Excellent, and square them up. This card here will represent the value, yeah? So turn that card face up so we can all see it. And it's a 10, yeah? This card will represent a suit, yeah? Remember, you shuffled that deck, Pete, so one card more and one card less and everything changes, and that's a heart, yeah?
Yeah.
So if we put those together, we've got 10 of
hearts,
yeah? A card, 10 of hearts. But it could have been 4 of spades, it could have been 9 of diamonds,
Yeah,
it could
it
have
could
been
have
jack of
been-
clubs, could have been any card, yeah?
Could have been the 9
If
of
you
clubs.
see sirens in the background,
Could have been-
they're not after us,
Queen of spades. Could have been
Anything is possible.
3 of hearts. Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually created from a deck you shuffled the 10 of hearts.
Yeah.
We also need to use a number now. Now, you've actually generated a number. You don't realise it because if we add these two digits together, a 10 and a 5, we get
15.
15. But again, it could have been 19, it could have been 22, it could have been 11 or 6 even, a low number, a high number, but it's 15 and you've created the 10 of hearts, yeah?
Yeah.
10 of hearts. I'm going to put these over here. Remember that, Peter's created the 10 of hearts. Now you've had another deck down there
I have.
between your legs, and I'm going to take this deck out of here, red black deck, and we're going to count down to 15, yeah, the number you randomly formed.
Yeah.
Remember, you formed the 10 of hearts, yeah? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that's 15, yeah? How impressed would you be if that was the 10 of hearts?
I'd be very impressed, seeing as I shuffled everything.
Since you shuffled everyone, let's have a look. And it looks like our luck is in because there is the 10 of hearts. But I was doing this the other week and a lady said to me, I've got a feeling I know how that's done. I said, oh, don't tell me, please. Don't tell anybody. Come over into the corner. I reckon all the cards are the same. She said, let me have a look at them. I said, no. She said, yes. I said, no. She said, yes. Actually, guys, don't tell anybody else, yeah? These cards actually are all the same. If I know what to do with them, well then, I've got a great trick. And that's,
That is
can
awesome.
you believe it?
So where
Cheers,
is
buddy.
that? That is brilliant.
That's nowhere. That's in my mind and on a Facebook message.
Yeah. So is that going to go in one? So when you do
This will be
these
in
type
some
of-
kind of project we're going to do later this year somewhere. I'm not sure where and when, but
Cool.
we'll do something with it definitely.
I know that.
And that is self-working.
Yeah,
or
that is
semi-automatic.
self-working. It's
But you
that-
get a
that
lot
is
of
great.
mileage out of. Well, you explained the concept to me, didn't you, a few years ago? Because the effect is actually over when the card is revealed, but you get
Yeah.
this almost burglass like extra impact for little.
Do you know
nothing.
what? And I just thought of another one of those moments,
Really?
which is you have the card in position,
Yeah.
but face up.
Yeah.
So that's hit number 1.
Yeah.
Then when you turn it over, it's got a blue back. That's
a
hit number
brainwave
2.
kind of thing, yeah.
And then when you spread these out, they're all blank. That's hit number 3, and it's no
And it doesn't
additional
change
work.
any of the work. There's
No.
nothing extra to remember.
Yeah.
You know,
It's such a good little trick. One thing I want to ask you as well, because
thanks.
a lot of people sort of like yourself, they write books, and they write books really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can write a book, Paul Gordon can write a book, you know, my friend Michael Murray you can knock books out. Now, I'm not saying about the material inside, I'm not saying it's rushed or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I was speaking to Paul because I've been trying to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my problem is I create something,
Yes.
I never write it down,
Right.
and about 3 weeks later, Andy will say, what was that trick you showed me? It was really good. And I'll go, I don't remember showing you a trick.
Well, I've got an easy solution for you.
Right.
What I use and what I swear by. Because I used to have that same problem years ago. I used to keep notebooks, little red memo notebooks you buy in the post office or the shop, you know, and then scribble them down. But then when I got my first iPhone, an iPhone 4S, about 5-6 years ago, it had an app on it, audio app, for making audio, like a dictaphone.
Oh, yeah,
audio
yeah.
messages.
Yeah.
Quite recently, I've got a nice upgrade to a 6S Plus, but it's got the same audio function on it. And there's other ones called Cache or something, CACHE
Yeah,
online,
Cache.
and they're free. But the audio one on the iPhone and the equivalent on you guys are using Android is great because I can just sort of basically get the idea down verbally,
Yeah.
and then later I can give it a title. You know, I don't know. Hands off card to pocket, think of a card version 3, blah blah blah, any old title, so I can remember it. I can go back to it. some build up like a catalogue, a back catalogue of stuff on audio. Also, if I get an idea before I turn in at night or before I make a journey away on a plane or a train somewhere, I'll just quickly give some gibberish on the phone just to give the essence of the effect.
Yeah.
Give it a cursory title, a rough title, working title, and I've got it there and I can revisit it.
Right.
Also,
That's a
though,
really
there's
good tip.
you can even go further now. I haven't bothered with it yet. You can also get audio apps now which transcribe what you say.
Like the Dragon Dictate.
Look, yeah, I'm not sure how accurate they are. They're getting better, I've been told, into an actual text in an open document on an email or a Word document. And then obviously you might have to do a little bit of in-house editing, but Word and its variants pages on the Apple products, it has spell checks and grammar checks all built into it anyway, so you wouldn't have to do much in the way of... So there's a couple of good working solutions.
Yeah, and that's a really good tip for any of you guys that are creating magic, even if you only create one trick a year. Make a note of it. I know that, Paul said to me as well, every time he comes up with an idea, he writes it down. So when it comes to making a book, he's already got the routines written out, and he just goes, that's a brilliant one, that's a brilliant one, that's a brilliant one.
Another thing I do as well, if it's not convenient for me to actually do audios, like I'm on a train journey going up north to a lecture or something like that, I will just actually type into an email. I know it seems crazy to myself.
Yeah.
And at least I've got it. I send it and I star it and flag it up so it goes in my starred folder.
Right,
yeah, and then later on, I will cut and paste that and then put it into a Pages document on my iPhone, which is like a Word document.
Yeah.
And then, so this way, it's easy to revisit those things, and I can do a bit of work when I'm at home, and I can sort of drag and drop 6 or 8 routines in a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just,
And it only has to be a rough idea, enough that you remember what the effect is.
Well, I'll be honest with you, right? Minimalistica and the Carey files, I reckon about 90-95% of that was actually written, audioed, and whatever else on an iPhone.
Right.
Yeah, nothing fancy, because luckily I've got some very good people, some good friends, Phil Smith, Michael Murray, and Mick Wilson, other people who helped me.
Yeah.
And with the book, and the fantastic Steve Hairsign with his Hairsign Press for the production of the books. Absolutely
Beautiful
first
quality.
class, beautiful quality. Hi Steve, if you're watching. Thanks to those guys for all they do, and indeed we're working on a new project now with Phil. Just started the tentative early stages. He's got the file for my late summer release we're looking at, called Me, My Cards and I.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a cryptic title, but apparently it's going to be card tricks in it, you know.
Right.
But there will be some coin things in there as well, and a little bit of mentalism as well.
Cool.
Looking at about sort of late July, early August for that. So
Well, we'll look forward to
Unplugged.
that. And hopefully you'll be here and you can show us a few things from it.
definitely,
So-
we'll come down and do something. Be an absolute pleasure, mate.
That'll be brilliant. So before we see John's next trick, when you pop down today, I know you rang me last week when the Gentleman Jack wallet went live and said,
Yes.
I love it, I'm going to pick one up when I'm down. You've already picked one up. So for you guys at home, before actually we
Lovely
go
piece
to
of
the...
kit. It looks like a proper wallet.
It's great, isn't it? You've already had a play with it. So
It's great.
Um,
Genuinely.
before we go onto the trailer of that, I want to say thank you. I still haven't seen the video of Johnny Spangles, but going by what Wayne was saying, I know you guys would have been blown away by his technique. So I'll catch up on that later.
I think he should go to FISM next year and be a representative for the UK, from what I've heard on the grapevine.
Yeah, I mean, I've only heard good things, so I can't wait to watch that back.
Yeah.
But here's the trailer for Gentleman Jack, and then we'll be back with another effect from Mr. John Carey.
See you shortly.
Have you ever wanted to be able to switch cards, billets or currency right under your spectators' noses? The Gentleman Jack allows you to do just that, and it's built into an innocent looking hip pocket style Himba wallet. Not only can the Gentleman invisibly switch, but this awesome little tool makes for a great add a number pad and the perfect hideout for your cribs.
Okay guys, so I'm going to try something with you if that's okay, but you've still got to work very carefully. I'll start by showing you a card that's in my wallet, and I'm just going to leave this on the table. It's going to use 52 cards and your hands. So I'd like you to deal the cards one at a time face down on the table, but they can come from anywhere. They haven't got to come at the top, they literally can come from anywhere. Whenever you want, you stop, okay? Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, rest of the cards can go away. They're not needed anymore. It's these cards. So pick the pack up for me. And you're going to create a card that even you didn't know you were going to pick. So I want you to do 2 piles of the cards all the way through, that's it. And one of the piles is going to give us the value, and the other is going to give us the suit. Okay, so if you turn over the top 2 cards for me, we got the 3 of hearts and the 10 of clubs, right? So this could be the value, which will give us the 10, and then that would be the suit, which is 10 of hearts or 3 of clubs.
Right.
It is on you. What would you like?
3 of clubs.
The 3 of clubs.
Yes,
now I'm going to give you one chance to change your mind, because you might kick yourself when you see this card.
No, I'm going to stick with the 3 of clubs.
You sure?
Yeah, please.
Look, I showed you there was 1 card in my wallet. I'm going to take it out. There's nothing else in there. And crazy enough, that is.
Oh wow, that's
a
great
perfect match.
There we go.
Thank you guys.
Cheers.
I'm Peter Nardi, and this is the Gentleman Jack gimmick. Right, so we're back, and this is something that I haven't even seen because you didn't want to tell me about this one.
No, I just thought it'd be nice as a surprise, not even to tell you the plot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You know, obviously it's not sponge balls or Chinese sticks, but yeah,
I gathered it may be a card trick.
such powers of perception and observation, master. Yeah, this is called A Night at the Casino.
Right.
Okay, so should we roll?
Yeah.
Peter, I want you to imagine you're in Tottenham Court Road. It's a Saturday night, and you and Jenny have just had a lovely meal, and you decide to go to the casino. Believe it or not, after you've had a lovely meal with Jenny and a few drinks, there is some money left to go into the casino. Only kidding, Jen. Love you.
Very rarely.
Very rarely. And you go to the blackjack table, we play a few hands for about 20 minutes, you have some success, win a few quid. Then after a drink at the bar, you decide to play some poker. And you do pretty well on the poker and win a few £100. So you then decide to go and cash out your chips. So you cash out your chips, you've won a nice few £100, and Jenny says, shall we get a taxi now? And then you just reach into your pockets absentmindedly, and you notice you've got 1 poker chip there you haven't cashed in. You say, oh Jen, I've got a poker chip here, can I just have 1 quick go of roulette please? So you go to the roulette wheel, a beautiful young lady there, and you say, I've only got 1 chip here, but I just want to throw it in before I go, I've cashed in my chips. She said, have you had a good night? I said, yeah, it's been great, won some nice money, had a great time. So imagine you're now in that beautiful casino, beautiful lights, beautiful ambience, and you go to that roulette table and you put that down on a number. Now in roulette there's 36 numbers, I believe. Well, it's 38 technically if you call the zeros, but let's just say it's 36 numbers, 1 to 36, yeah? And I want you to imagine putting that imaginary poker chip down onto, you know, a reasonably high number, yeah? But don't let me influence you, yeah?
Yeah.
And the young lady puts the white ball into the wheel, and the wheel starts spinning around rapidly. Easy to say. And then starts slowing down, and the ball settles on 1 number. In your imagination, in that beautiful casino in London town that night, what number did the roulette ball fall on?
29.
29.
Yeah.
But it could have been 16.
Yeah.
It could have been 31. It could have been 24.
Yeah.
But you said
29.
29. Did I influence you in any way?
No, you didn't.
Did I give you a £10 note before we started filming?
No, I wish you did.
Okay, 29 it is, yeah? Okay. Now, maybe you think, you know, if I hold the cards too long, I could do something sneaky here, yeah? But I'm not going to. Not going to. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold the pack in the hand you deal. And when I tell you to, I want you to start dealing the cards face up, one at a time, face up, into a nice neat pile, and count out loud so everybody can not only see, but hear the cards are being dealt and counted. Yeah,
Okay.
29, yeah?
Yeah.
Go.
1, 2,
Do it nice
3,
and quickly.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
And that's
29.
29, and we'll take that 29th card here. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
could have been 28, it would have been the 6 of spades. If it had been the next card,
Would have been
the
the
6 of diamonds. Lots of different possibilities
Yeah.
here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I don't even want to touch that card. I want you to turn that card over and show everybody the card that was at your thought of number, because you just genuinely thought of a number
Yeah, just now.
in a game at an imaginary casino on a beautiful night in London.
Yeah.
You see, what I didn't tell you was that before I came here today, I put a playing card, my lucky card, in my pocket. You see, it's actually a green back card. How impressed would you be if this card had something in common, maybe the same colour as that card?
Genuinely, if that's going to be the 10 of spades, I have got no idea what you just did.
And that's the truth, yeah.
That is
That's
the
not just
truth.
for this live feed.
No, when this goes off, you're telling me.
Let me ask you one further question. Do you like to be amazed?
I do like to be
How
amazed.
much do you like to be amazed?
Very much so. You're winding me up now.
Get ready to be amazed. Because there is the 10.
Right, we're going to cut in a minute because he's going to show me how this works.
you.
That is really cool.
Thanks,
That
buddy.
is really cool.
No gimmicks.
No, that is nice. That's good. I love the presentation as well. I love the roulette. It is basically a card at any number that makes sense.
Well, there's a premise with a number rather than it being some amazing hit. You know, 1 and 52, 24. Playing card, 6 of diamonds, bish, bash, bosh.
Yeah.
I think as amazing as that is, it's got no real texture.
I have this conversation quite a bit with magicians especially about card at any numbers. And if you do a card at any number,
Yeah.
a lay person, to a lot of lay people, it is a coincidence. It's like, you give me a number,
Oh,
you
a 1
give
in
me a
52
card.
shot.
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
That's great.
the
yeah.
card was at a number.
What else do you do? Do you blow balloons?
That's the thing. Something like that, you've got that lovely premise which takes your mind away from it being a card at any number, even though that's what it is at the crux.
And I'm
of
not
it.
a great, hands up here, I'm not a great storyteller. You know, I'm still evolving and learning with it. I mean, if you want to watch, you know, our great friend Mark Elson, he's
Yeah.
great at the story stuff, and you're good at the story stuff. And one thing I've noticed from watching you guys, like to you and Mark and a few people over the years, and Michael Murray, the wonderfully talented Michael Murray, hi Mike if you're watching, is, you know, weaving these little story spells, no pun
Yeah.
intended, around these things. It gives something an emotional hook. It makes it captivating. It makes it more enjoyable, rather than almost like a probability experiment with name a card, name a number, as you say, bosh,
Yeah.
bosh, bosh.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, that's great. That was really, really neat. I enjoyed that. So I just want to say as well, before we cut back to talk a bit more in there,
Yes.
you've got a few products out which we stock. So if you search on Alakazam sites for John Carey, it's going to come up with all John's products, as well as John's filmed some downloads for us.
Yeah, we did a free one. I think it was called Free, wasn't it?
No,
Or
it was
something?
called Further Faults.
Oh, Further Faults. That was a freebie, but we also had a nice little one after that called Quintessential Carey.
Yeah.
Free effects with a regular deck.
And that was, they're on offer at the moment. Further Faults is still free of charge. If you go over to our website, type in Kerry, you'll see it there. And that's a download that John wanted to give the Alakazam customers. So you can download that for absolutely nothing and watch
No
it on your
obligation,
Alakazam
just
account.
download it.
Yeah, it was a great
Watch it.
effect. But Quintessential Carey, I think at the moment is on special offer from £8 down to $4.99 or
Yeah,
something.
$4.99.
And was that 3 different tricks?
Yeah, 3 different tricks. There was a do as I do, hands off sort of do as I do, and there was a couple other pieces on there. Do you know what? It's been a while since I've actually looked at it myself, so a bit of surprise to go and look back at it again later. But trust me, the effects are powerful and practical and doable.
Well, perfect. Why don't we cut to a trailer of Quintessential Carey, and me and John will go back into the studio and we'll see you in there.
See you in a bit, guys. Pack of cards, and we're going to get you involved. Millions and billions, in fact, are won and lost on the deal or the throw of a card, yeah? Could be luck, could be something else. But cards are not all about gambling. They've been used by gypsies and fortune tellers and psychics to tell the past, the present and the future for generations, yeah? Okay, so what I want you to do is cut off a small packet and flip them face up to represent your past. Now that's 7. It could be deemed a lucky number, lucky 7. That card actually tells me that in your past during your youth, you were something of a wild kind of person. In a good way, you used to enjoy going out, pushing the boat out with your friends, and you didn't follow any kind of rhyme or reason, you just went for it, yeah? Now I want you to cut deeper for the present, yeah?
Okay.
Turn them over. Now, that card's a king. That's very good. It's a very colourful card. It's a very positive card. It tells me you're quite a positive person. You like to see the good in people. Although, if people do you a bad turn, you are subject to change. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's put the first face down card we come to down here on the table. I also think you're a bit of an impulsive person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to deal cards off like this. Immediately on impulse, you're going to say stop somewhere.
Stop.
Just here. Yeah.
Just
Now,
there.
if you'd have gone one card further, it would have been that card. If you'd have gone one card less, it would have been that card. But it wasn't. Let's have a look at this card as it's freshest in your mind. Oh, well, that's an ace. Yeah. The card I cut to is also an ace. kind of interesting. I did say you were subject to change. Well, there's an ace too. And the card to represent the future. Well, I think the future's looking very bright for you, Keith, because there is the ace of diamonds.
Excellent.
Let's move on. Let's try something else, a little interesting. With just the aces this time. Do you like guessing games? I used to love playing guessing games with Gran and Granddad when I was a kid. 2 red aces, you even get to mix them up. Perfect, I'll take those back from you. For £50, not my £50, Dave Lucy's.
That's all right.
Do you think this is diamonds or hearts? Go for it.
Hearts.
Oh, but it's just a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to test your memory. Do you remember what those 2 aces were?
Oh, the spades and the clubs.
The black aces?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Means you're very observational. This ace is actually called the dark card by some of the gypsies and the psychics. It's got a bit of a shady past, yeah? Would you hold your left hand out for me, palm up? A little bit lower. Okay, and we're going to put the ace of clubs flat onto your hand, yeah? Okay, I'm going to try a little something with this ace of spades. I'm going to put it all the way down to the bottom. But let's go 5 seconds back in time, shall we? Back to when that ace was on top. In fact, let's take it a step further, Keith. I want you to cover those 2 black aces with your hand. I'm going to attempt to make my red aces disappear. Sometimes if my red aces disappear, your black aces disappear too. Mine haven't gone, have yours?
No.
No. By the way, let me shake your hand again. It really is great catching up with you. But that's not just a social exchange, shaking hands. That's what it's normally meant to be. It actually exchanges the power, because if you turn over your cards and show the camera, you've now got the red aces. That can only mean one thing. I've got the 2 black aces. Moving on, one for the road, the final part, your favourite part this afternoon, the end, yeah? Okay, and I'm going to try and do everything as slowly as possible. You ever heard the saying, follow the leader? Yeah. Well, this ace here, the ace of hearts, will be the leader, and these aces will be the followers. Each ace gets a packet. I'll do this as slow as I possibly can. Bury each ace into the pack. Obviously, this ace needs to be lost too, so would you turn that face down for me? Great. Now I could just put them on there, Keith, but instead let's isolate this on the table and make it fairer and fairer. You get to push that card in. You get to square the spread up. You get to put your hand on top of the pack. You get to wave your other hand over your hand that's on top of the pack. You get to snap your fingers. You get to lift your hand and make a wish. Because today is a good day. That will be an ace. But sometimes you get more in life than you wish for, because there's the other one. There's the other one, and that's all 4 the aces from me to you. Thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you.
Right, we're back. So now we're back in the Alakazam studio. John still hasn't told me how that works, but he has promised over a cup of tea after he is going to teach me. But the response from you guys has been amazing. That must have fooled you as much as it fooled me, and genuinely, I have not seen that before. There was no... You didn't tell me to say a number or anything.
No, and talking of genuinely, it's actually the first time I've actually performed that. It's that new, using, like I said with one of the other pieces earlier, old concepts, but you know, just tweaked and twisted a little bit. That will be coming out at some point in some form, in written form. Don't know when and where, but watch this space, and we'll do something with it at some point.
That's great. Well, we've got Johnny Spangles.
You're a legend,
watching.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, I still haven't watched the video now, but I'm really looking forward to it. Wayne Dobson's been speaking really highly of you, mate. So
absolutely,
just keep practicing. He says you're great. He says you're destined for great things. So really looking forward to seeing what you're
a ledge
for us.
You're a ledge, mate.
Hopefully, you know, it doesn't put our guest to shame, because he's been doing some amazing stuff. So I don't want to take the shine off John there.
2 Johnnies.
Yeah.
The 2 Johnnies.
Jamie Badman, I've just seen your comment. I presume that's about the trick I just witnessed.
Hi, Jamie. See you soon, buddy. We'll have a beer in town, yeah?
Everyone. I think you fooled everyone with that trick.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
It's
Michael Vincent's here. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
Guys, let me know you're still watching. Hit that love heart button. Let's have some love hearts for Mr. Carey.
The love.
Come on. Let's feel the love for Mr. John Carey. And we're going to give away the Carey files. Harry is going to pick one of you that has shared. Look at all the love hearts going. That's all for you,
Oh
John.
man, bless you.
Well done, guys.
Ti amo.
So Harry's going to pick a winner for the Carey files. So once you pick one, Harry, just shout it across to us. Richard Furzer.
Congratulations, Richard.
Congratulations, buddy. Give us a call at HQ and I'll get John to sign this.
Yeah, my
for
pleasure,
you,
Richard. Hope
and
you enjoy it.
We'll get this off to you. Congratulations, Richard. So, John, what shall we do to give away these? Shall we pick someone at random? Shall I get Harry to pick someone off YouTube and someone off Facebook?
So where was Richard picked off of there?
Richard was picked off because he shared the video.
He shared the video, so should we give away the other two as individuals for something else?
Yeah, we'll give away one of these is going to go to. We need to do this because let me have a look here.
You got a rash?
Right, so I've got a 10p coin and a £1 coin.
Yeah.
I'm going to mix them up. And we're going to choose this. If it's the 10p coin, that will go to YouTube.
Right.
If it's the £1 coin, this will go to Facebook and that will go to YouTube.
All right then.
Yeah?
Gotcha.
So 10p, this will go to YouTube,
Yep.
that will go to Facebook. £1
Okay.
coin, this will go to Facebook, that will go to YouTube.
Gotcha.
All right? So, £1 coin. So this will go to Facebook, that will go to YouTube.
Yep.
All right? So, Harry, you're going to pick a viewer from YouTube to win Minimalistica.
You still can't say it.
No. So that's going to go to someone at YouTube. So Harry's going to pick a winner for them. And Sublime Self-Working Card Tricks is going to go to one of our Facebook viewers. And Harry will pick a winner for there. So we got the Carey files going to Richard Furzer. Congratulations, Richard. And Harry is going to pick out some winners. And then we are going to wrap this up because John, bless him, hasn't had a cup of tea yet. And he is dying of thirst.
Definitely.
But I want to say thank you guys for watching, and thank you, John, obviously.
Mate, it's
for
been so
coming
much
along.
fun. I mean, an hour and a bit has just flown, literally. We've had good fun. You know, I was going to say we've done it in one take. There's no choice for these live things.
Yeah.
It's all gone great. I mean, apart from breaking my neck just before 10 seconds before we came on, I nearly fell ass over. But apart from that, it's all been good. And thanks so much for tuning in, guys. So this is going to be one of many of these Facebook
Do you know
lives.
what would be really cool?
Yeah.
To do a product launch. So when your next book is out, come in here and we launch it on the live.
Well, let's do that, and we'll do maybe 3 items like we did today from the book, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could also maybe do a special price or something, you know, in conjunction with you. Or
That
something.
would be phenomenal.
We'll sort something
so
out.
we'll let you know about that. Like John said,
August, September time-ish.
and we'll have a live product launch. We'll do it in the evening.
Yeah, we'll have
So,
a.
do you know what?
We'll get some friends
we'll
around.
We'll get some pizzas. We'll get a little crowd in here.
Yeah.
Get some pizzas. We'll do it in the evening so all our American friends can watch.
It'll be
as
great,
well.
and you know, and also some of the Aussies because of their time don't
Yeah.
make difference can watch.
Yeah, and our UK buddies will be hopefully out of finished work, so they'll be at home. They can
Hopefully,
sit
yeah,
down and watch
yeah.
it.
That sounds like a great idea, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be
look
brilliant.
forward to that.
So I'm going to have a look here. Harry's going to pick 2 winners for us.
Does Harry call them out before we go off the air?
Yes, he will. H, who have you got?
YouTube is Thomas. I'm not sure how you pronounce his surname. Legge, L-E-G-G-E.
Okay, so it's
Congratulations,
Thomas Legg, isn't it?
With an E.
Yeah. So Legge, Thomas Legg. If you're watching us on YouTube now, you have won yourself a copy of this book. You can read it yourself. All you need to do is send us an email at sales@alakazam.co.uk with your full name and address, and we will pop a signed copy of this book in the post to
Just
you.
mentioning you won the competition, you won the book, etc.
Of course.
I hope you enjoyed, Thomas.
And who have we got from Facebook, H?
Jonathan Strudwick.
Jonathan Strudwick, my old friend
Congratulations, John.
Jonathan.
You know?
Yeah, he's a friend of Moz's. You'll know Jonathan. Dr. John, he used to go
Oh,
out.
yes.
Yes. So, Jonathan, congratulations,
Well done,
buddy.
John.
You've won a Sublime Self-Working card tricks.
Hope you enjoy it, mate.
So, all you need to do, Jonathan, just ring us up here at HQ or send us an email to sales@alakazam.co.uk with your name, full address, tell us what you've won. and we'll pop that in the post to you. I also want to say a big shout out to my very good friend Mark Cole. Mark, thank you for all your help, buddy. Truly appreciated, and I hope we've done you proud with this live.
Thanks, Mark.
And that's about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Alistair Gill had a good shout. He said maybe you can offer a ticket to attend the live launch as a giveaway.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Great idea.
We'll do that, and there'll be a discounted price that evening on the book for people who attend the live launch.
Cool.
We'll get that sorted.
Good stuff. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'm away next week, but the week after that, Dave's going to be back, so me and Dave will be doing another live. Like I said, we're going to pick a day and we're going to try and do a live every single week. Hopefully we're going to have guests in quite often, because this for me has been an absolute pleasure.
Great fun, hasn't it? It hasn't felt like work at all, has it?
And the time has, I know you were saying, oh, how long are we going to do? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? And I said, by the time you know it, we're going to fly past the
Honestly,
hour.
I mean, it's an hour and a quarter, an hour and 20, I think young Harry, your boy, just said.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's been great fun, genuinely great fun. So any of you guys out there on the circuit want to do one of these, drop Pete a line, and I'm sure he'd love you to come down.
Yeah, no, that will be brilliant. And the other thing is as well, if there's any of my American friends out there that are creators, if you've got a product that you're going to be releasing soon, get in touch with us here, because we can actually connect up with you while you're still at home in America. We can talk about your product, drop the trailer, and maybe we can do a big live launch for you. So guys, yeah, check that out. And next time we do one, I'm going to set up something I'm calling Harry Cam. So when Harry's working backstage, you'll be able to see him on certain occasions anyway, especially when he's picking the winners.
And hasn't he done a great job today?
Yeah,
I know it's your son, but he really has done a great job.
No,
he makes it look easy.
He's done me proud.
Well done, Harry.
Right, guys, so once again, thank you so much for watching. I want to thank John Carey once
Thanks,
again.
Governor. Thanks for everything.
I'm going to
Thank
get you a
guys.
cup of tea. You're going to teach me that trick.
Okay.
And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching the Alakazam live, and we'll catch you next time.
All the best. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.